Ever since GoPro released their first cameras, people have been able to get all the coolest, scariest, and most insane moments in their lives on camera. Everyone from athletes to outdoor enthusiasts to people who just want to capture special moments from their own point of view use these cameras. It's led to some seriously amazing moments being caught on film for all of us to see. The range of these videos is wild. There's a lot of different ones, and today we're going to be looking at the scarier side. These are 10 insane GoPro moments you must see. Also, remember to give the video some love by giving it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so that way you never miss anything. Alaskan Playground. This video featuring John Jackson was released on the GoPro channel. Like the name implies, it shows Alaska as a playground, a very scary, intense playground that only some people will think it's fun. It shows how the landscape in Alaska changes every year, so when snowboarders go back, they never completely know what they're gonna find. It's really cool, but the moment that really stood out for me and put a knot in my stomach came at the start of the clip. It shows him snowboarding, but miscalculating. He says that he has cut too high. I can't even imagine how scary that moment would be. He was literally sitting at an almost straight drop to the bottom, and he had nowhere else to go but down. The moment he goes down, the steep drop and get safety is one of the best I've ever seen. Really one you should see. GoPro Awards, Orca versus Paddleboard. One of the most amazing things about paddleboarding is the fact that you get to enjoy nature and the great outdoors without having too much of a barrier between you and nature. At the same time, this is also one of the worst things about paddleboarding. In this video, a man is paddleboarding far away from the safety of land. Then, an orca swims up next to the paddleboard. It seems like a cool experience, but turns very intense when the killer whale seems to become a little too interested in the paddleboard. Things could have gone very wrong. Even if the orca just wanted to play, luckily he just checked things out and swam away. An incredible experience for the paddleboarder to look back on, but a very intense moment to live through. Very cool. A grizzly ate my GoPro. This video was shot in the Alaskan Peninsula by Brad Joseph, and it's incredible. It isn't as scary as many of the videos on this list, since no one was in any real danger, but it's still pretty intense. You get to see the bear very close up. The shots of them playing are really beautiful, but if you get an up-close point of view of what it would be like to be in the mouth of a grizzly, it's a very young bear that decided to take the GoPro as a chew toy. It's awesome to see the shots from inside the bear's mouth. It was shot for a show called The Great Bear Stakeout, and what's really surprising is that even after all the harsh treatment, the camera had no damage. New York City Freedom Tower's base jump. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not sure how smart this jump was in the first place. A lot of people could have gotten hurt. The guys doing the jump and the people at the bottom where they landed. It was pretty quiet in the streets if you look at the video, but things do go wrong, so you never know what can happen. At the same time, watching the video is pretty intense, with the lights of New York all around them. The building was still being constructed at the time, but it was still seriously high at the point where they jumped. At the same time, there are buildings all around that could make the jump more dangerous. It's beautiful and at the same time scary, but the authorities didn't appreciate it at all. All 4 men that were involved ended up getting arrested. They were cleared of a lot of charges, but convicted some. It was dangerous, but also an incredible jump. Not one that I would ever do, that's for sure, so it's a good thing that I never have to. The GoPro video gives us all an opportunity to experience it with our feet firmly planted on the ground. The great white shark encounter. At the end of the video, you can hear the diver saying in Afrikaans that the shark almost ate him, and I'm sure it felt like it, even if I don't think it's entirely accurate. The video was taken in South Africa off the coast of the Western Cape. There's a lot of great white sharks, so the chance of an encounter is always on the table, but I'm sure the diver wasn't expecting it. You can hear him give a shout when the shark comes out of seemingly nowhere. It's extremely scary. He even tries to get back to the boat as quickly as possible, but without his spear gun as a deterrent for the shark, who knows what could have happened. It's definitely much closer than I would like to get to a great white shark within any barriers. Avalanche cliff jump. This was another awesome moment which was caught on a GoPro. It was shot by Matthias Girard, one of the 2 skiers who were skating in the French Alps, when an avalanche started on the mountain they were on. They needed to get off the mountain fast. And what was their solution? Jumping off the cliff. They were prepared with parachutes. parachutes, so it was a good idea. And even better, the intense moment that they were going over the edge and the snow from the avalanche came right behind them. The power of the snow and the speed that it comes over the edge just gives you goosebumps thinking about what would have happened to these guys if they were caught up in it. It's a truly incredible moment, and I'm so glad they got it on camera. Skydivers landing safely after a plane crash. This is one of those moments that you can't believe everyone made it out safely. When two planes carrying 9 skydivers crashed into one another, it was almost inevitable that somebody would get seriously injured. The clip starts when the two planes collide. A ball of fire lights up the sky, and at one point you can see someone on their way out of the plane when the other plane bumps into them. It's incredible and scary and awesome, especially when you hear all the skydivers are also both of the pilots made it out alive with only minor injuries. It goes beyond belief. A once-in-a-lifetime experience, hopefully, that was caught on camera. Getting stuck in the tube in Lost John's cave. If you got claustrophobia, I would highly recommend that you skip this one. It shows some friends caving when one of them gets stuck. It might have been funny, you know, your friend getting stuck in a small space and all, but there was one big problem. The water was flooding into the cave, two of the worst fears that people can have. Being stuck in an enclosed space and drowning. Really not a good idea of fun. Luckily, he made it out safely, but no word on whether he would do it again. Fireman saving a kitten. This one is definitely a real tearjerker, so if you're an animal lover or if you got a heart at all, then get a Kleenex box ready before you watch the clip. But a quick spoiler alert, does have a good ending, so it's worth the watch. The fireman, Corey Kalanick, sees an unconscious kitten in a house that is still on fire and filled with smoke. He gets the kitten out of there and gives him oxygen and washes him off. The moments when you see that tiny body completely limp is incredibly intense and super sad. But when he wakes up and gives a cry, it's one of the best GoPro moments I've ever seen. It looks like the baby's coming back to life. It can make you ugly cry. Definitely an intense GoPro moment that you gotta see. Lastly, number 1, the Cessna who had engine failure and had to ditch into the ocean. This is a bit of a longer video, but it's definitely worth the watch and extremely intense all the way through. But just a warning, it might make you swear off flying for life, if you haven't already. It's clearly pretty quickly that the plane's going down. What is really striking is that all the passengers remain pretty calm. Even after they've gone down in the ocean, they all seem to remain pretty composed while getting out of the airplane. Watching them in the water, you can feel the tension and how they must have felt. They had to just drift around, not knowing how long it would be before they would be saved. In the end, one of the passengers made it swimming back to the land, and 7 passengers and the pilot were saved from the water about 80 minutes after their unexpected landing. Unfortunately, one of the passengers did lose their lives. It was later found out that he had been wearing a life vest that was intended for a child. The pilot and 2 other passengers were seriously injured. Later reports found that the passengers weren't given any safety instructions at the start of the flight. We don't know if this could have been the difference between either saving the lives of everyone or not, but I'm sure that a lot of painful lessons came out of this tragedy. It's sad and intense to watch. But that's the end of this video. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.